saw that everything was good. And he rested. He rested. And it was a holy day. It was a holy day. It was a holy day. Tonight, your life will change if you allow it to. Your life will change if you surrender to. If your life will change if you give in to. Your life will change if you bow down to. Your life will change tonight. If you can realize that it's not your life, but it's the life of Christ that we live. It is not your life to live, but it is the life of God. God is our life. God created our life. God predestined our life. And it's His life that we're living out on the earth. Jesus made a promise for the Feast of Tabernacles. And in John 7, verse 37 and 38, it says, now on the final and most important day of the feast, Jesus stood and He cried in a loud voice, if any man is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. What happens when you drink? What happens when you drink? What happens when you drink? Depends what you drink, right? It all depends on what you drink. And He said, let him come to me and drink. He who believes in me, who cleaves to and trusts in and relies on me, as the scripture has said, from his innermost being shall flow continuously springs and rivers of living waters. There's an outpouring that is taking place right now in the Spirit. There's an outpouring over your life. There's an outpouring in the upper room. There's an outpouring on the earth right now. And one of the key things that happens in the tabernacle is an outpouring. The whole purpose of the tabernacle was for an outpouring of God. Every year at the Feast of the Tabernacle, the high priest performed a prophetic act. He would bring water from the pool of Susa, from Siloam, from that pool. He would get water from that pool. And if anyone knows the story about that pool, that's the pool where Jesus instructed the blind man. He put mud on the blind man's eyes, and He instructed the blind man to go to that pool and wash his eyes, and he would have sight. And so the high priest went and he got the water from that pool, and he climbed up the temple stairs. And when he reached the top of the temple stairs, he would pour out the water right beside the altar. And this symbolized an act to God for the latter rain to fall on the land. It also symbolized an appeal to God for an outpouring of His Spirit. That was said in Joel 2:28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see vision. And so he went up there, he did a prophetic act for an outpouring of the Spirit of God upon the land, to bring a refreshing, to bring revival, to bring God into the picture. Every day, he did the same thing at the feast. Every day, for 7 days, he went to the pool of Siloam. He got the water. He climbed the stairs and he poured it out beside the altar. Then finally, they came to the last day. The great day, the last day of the feast. This was the climax of the feast. This was the last day of celebrating the presence. This was the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles. This was the last day of the whole feast, the culmination of the feast, the outpouring. And as the priest got the water from the pool, he carried it up to the temple. And what happened was, there was a huge crowd of people that began to follow him up to the temple. The temple was packed with anxious people watching with great expectation. Now, they were not allowed to climb up to the temple.